And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and we've got a new character to discuss. Now, this is Canderous Ordo from the Old Republic, and I believe he's going to end up being a marquee character that's coming out probably this week, maybe Thursday. Not 100% sure. We've given this information to kind of give it a looky-loo. Now, I haven't had a chance to actually play him, but I've looked at the footage pretty extensively that they've provided, and it looks like he's going to be one of those characters that you probably at some point will farm and have in your roster, especially for a future event such as getting Darth Malak, but he's not somebody that you're going to have to rush out and purchase. He's kind of a one-trick pony. He's got a couple of abilities and a couple of uniques. We're going to take a look at what he really does, but basically what he does is he adds a ton of damage over time, dots, and he works in a dot synergistic team with characters such as Wampa or Darth Vader or Mission and Zalbar. And so he really provides an additional piece of control when you're trying to really stack a bunch of dots. I think he'd probably do pretty good in Hat, in the Vader team, as far as trying to solo in that particular team that they have there. The other thing is he'd probably work pretty good in Phase 2, I'm guessing, if he was put in the right team composition. Now, he reminds me a little bit of Baze Malbus. That's right. Baze Malbus has got a couple of things going for him, and he was a pretty popular tank. Now, Canderous is actually an attacker, and he's Old Republic and Scoundrel. Those are two really important tags because Scoundrel is really important when you're building Scoundrel teams and synergy with Scoundrel synergy, but then Old Republic is kind of a growing faction. And again, I believe us to get Malak sometime probably in either December or February, probably next year. And so we're looking at building out all the characters that are going to be required for getting that character, and I am pretty sure that he falls on this. Now, I have another video that's going to be on Bastila Shan, the dark side or the fallen Bastila Shan, so I'm going to have you guys go check that video out. I separated them out so we could analyze each one of them differently. Now, let's get right into it. He is a dark side scoundrel Old Republic attacker, and he's got a basic, and really this is his one trick. The basic is going to provide a damage over time when he hits, and he can attack up to 3 times on his basic. So he shoots once, shoots second time, and if they had protection prior to him shooting, he's going to shoot a third time and put tenacity down. This is really important for when you're trying to cut through tanks, because if they have their protection, or any character for that matter, he's going to shoot 3 times. The other thing is if they're taunting or have any kind of a forced taunt mechanic, such as Death Mark is kind of a forced taunt, as well as marked from Revan. Those force you to attack a specific character. Those are kind of a forced taunt, right? Or basically a regular taunt. Any kind of taunt or forced taunt, he's gonna do 50% more damage. So his basic attack doesn't do a ton of damage. From the footage I saw, it was around 5 to 10,000, nothing special. But when he's getting 50% more damage because he's hitting a taunting character, and he's got some buffs such as crit chance up, crit damage up, and he shoots 3 times, his basic can start to lay down some pretty good damage. In fact, I saw on one battle he shot 3 times for 20,000 apiece. That's 60,000 that he hit Holdo for and really crippled her in one turn. So he's got some potential. I don't see him as meta-defining or meta-changing. In fact, they have already said they don't expect him to be meta-defining or meta-changing, and so that's why I believe him to be a marquee character. He has no Zetas, so you don't have to worry about saving any Zetas or anything like that, and you can probably wait until he's farmable, like I said, to get him. Now, he'll, like I said, deal physical damage, attack again, and then he gets to attack a third time and inflict tenacity down if they had protection. His special, and you'll probably rarely ever use this, it has a cooldown of 3, but stacking dots is probably what you're going to use him for, which is his basic. But with this one, Overwhelming Firepower, he'll do an AoE, he'll hit everybody, and he'll deal offense down. Now, he doesn't have a ton of potency, but he does have a way of kind of fixing that. And then this attack ignores defense, so you're going to get truer damage from this AoE. Now, just like many AoEs, there's not a whole lot of damage to be had, but every time he hits an opponent, he has a potential of putting a damage over over time. Pretty cool. And that's what comes from the unique Mandalorian veteran. And so it says at the start of battle, he's going to gain 10% health steal and 10% potency for each Old Republic and Scoundrel ally. And if they're Old Republic and Scoundrel, he's going to get it twice. He is that. Of course, Mission and Zalbar are currently both that. And so that is about 60% health steal right there and the 60% additional potency. So right out the gate, he's going to have quite a bit additional health steal, which will make him very durable and kind of hard to take down once his protection is gone. And if you make him with a really high health pool, he'll really regenerate that. He also provides his potency, although he doesn't really need potency a whole lot. The damage over times, he's going to get many attempts at applying, and he's going to try to apply offense down, which might sort of help kind of neuter the other side. Now, you're probably wondering, where are we going to use this guy? And the truth is, you probably won't use him a whole lot. There's an event, I am sure, that'll be coming down the pipeline, and you'll use him for that event. And then I think he'll probably make his way in a couple of offensive territory war teams for some of the higher end, for people who really want to maintain control and kind of maximize a damage over time team, where they're able to kind of stack offense with Mission or stack offense with Darth Vader and getting the dots and be able to kind of one-hit individuals with either Mission or Darth Vader. So I think he's going to provide a little more, potential for teams like that maybe are kind of missing something. But aside from that, I don't really see him in a whole bunch of places. Now, aside from the first unique that provides him that extra health steal and potency, which is quite a bit actually, it also says, of course, he deals damage to an opponent. He's going to deal a damage over time to them for 2 turns. So that's pretty good. And then he has a second unique called I Like a Challenge, and he deals, like I'd mentioned earlier, 50% more damage with both of his attacks, interminable assault and overwhelming firepower to enemies who are taunting, death marked, or marked. So anytime there's a taunt or a forced taunt, he's going to deal more damage. Also, whenever an enemy with a dot on their head, he's going to get 8% turn meter. So he doesn't even have to be the one applying the dots. If it's Darth Vader or someone else, he's going to get that additional 8% turn meter whenever the enemy is damaged by an attack. And it's anybody damaging those people. So he's going to get a ton of turn meter even when other people are going. Now it says whenever an enemy gains taunt or becomes death marked or marked, he's also, so anytime they taunt or get that forced taunt, he's going to automatically get his critical chance up and critical damage up for 2 turns. Now, his basic synergies are going to be with individuals that are either Old Republic and Scoundrel, or individuals who do damage over time, such as Wampa, Darth Vader, Mission, Zalbar. And so they show some of the synergy teams that he would have. Now, what I want to do is I just want to showcase, they gave us a little bit of footage. I just want to showcase a couple of arena battles, and we're going to walk through those arena battles together and kind of watch what he's doing and see his basic kit in action. Again, he's a very simplistic kit, but sometimes simple is good. And I think he's going to provide a little more breadth for individuals who are looking for a damage over time team. But I don't think you need to get all freaked out about him coming into the game and farming him necessarily right away, because he's basically just there for probably an event. Now let's go check out those arena battles. All right, now it looks like they wanted to showcase the dots stacking, and so what they did is they went ahead and picked a first order team because of the extreme durability of this team. There's 10K, 5K, and 10K. That's 25K on basic, not too shabby. But like I was saying, the dots are going to stack, and this team's super durable, and it's going to allow for us to get an insane amount of dots over these guys' heads, and so I'm guessing they're trying to showcase the dots stacking. There's 30k because of 3 hits on his basic. Remember, if they're taunting, he does more damage, and if they have protection at the beginning of that first shot, he's going to take 3 total shots, which is pretty good. Now, you're going to notice the extreme durability of First Order, and like I said, my only guess is that they're really trying to showcase this durability to be able to showcase stacking crazy amounts of dots over these individuals' heads. Now, it doesn't look too good. The other thing is they are, yep, we lost our tank. The other thing is that, of course, we are basically just trying to put as many dots over the head as possible, because at the end of this battle, we're going to be able to use Darth Vader's Culling Blade to just, you know, one-shot. I mean, look at the amount of dots already on top of his head. That's craziness. First Order, though, with all of the extra damage that Kylo Ren does with the dots, kind of a bad idea. But Mission does quite a bit of damage. She's going to start taking people out. I mean, 25k on a basic's pretty smoking. You'll notice they use their basic a lot. They're 7,500 twice. That character did not have taunt and did not have protection, which is why he only shot twice and didn't do quite as much damage. Now, he has an AoE, but you'll notice they almost never use his AoE, and I think the reason for that is it's just not as effective as stacking dots. Now, there's 172,000 hit from Darth Vader. Pretty easy to one-shot somebody when you get those kinds of debuffs on their head. There's almost 30,000 against First Order Executioner. And let's see how he does. So far, like I said, I think they're just trying to showcase the dots and the additional hits and whatnot. It's pretty good. Obviously, if you were in Territory Wars and you lost your tank, this wouldn't be a good run. You'd be at 19 points, and it looks like we're about to lose another individual or other tank. So double tanks, and we're going to lose both of our tanks. We're going to do the AoE. And regardless of whether you use basic or AoE, it's going to do it. Now, there you go. Darth Vader for the win. Second battle they're using should be a little easier because it's against the Rebels. And the Phoenix are a team you may see on defense a lot in kind of the lower level or mid-tier guilds. All right, Ezra, enough already. And personally, I would have put some retribution up, but that's all right. He called the assist and got some dots up. I mean, there's already 11 dots on Ezra Bridger, so you can see the power of the dots, how fast they stack. There's 14 dots now. And of course, it gives plenty of time for Mission to get her offense stacking. There's 17k twice. The second shot was actually missed, but he did do 17k twice. That's like 34,000 to a tank. That's actually pretty decent for only 2 hits. And the AoE looked pretty good right there, hitting everybody for a decent amount. Again, this is kind of a specialty character. It's not somebody that you're going to, take into your arena team and make super powerful. So he hit twice for 6,500. That's basically 12k on his basic. Again, if it's not taunting and you're not, there's no protection, he's not going to get that third shot. So the taunting gives him the extra damage, and the protection ensures he gets that third shot, and every shot gives a chance at that damage over time, so pretty snazzy with that. This team tends to be doing a little bit better. Obviously, they're going against Phoenix, but this is not a showcase of how totally overpowered he is. However, he just hit for almost 60 grand to Kanan, although Kanan is durable. This is really nice to showcase that. There he does it again, triple shot, and gets those massive hits of almost 20k to a tank. So you can see he really cleans the tanks out. Non-tanks, he's hitting for like 6 grand with a crit. And remember, the offense that is in this video is like almost 2,000 higher than normal. Most people are only going to be able to add about 1,000 with realistic mods. So what you're seeing is really kind of best case scenario damage situations. So really there for taking out tanks and really stacking the dots. I'm pretty excited to see what some individuals come up with as far as like a Darth Vader lead team. I think it would be really fun. Well, there we go. So what are your thoughts on Canderous Ordo? Is he somebody that you want to put into a unique team and see how he does? Leave your ideas in the comments down below and keep your gaming on. Warrior out.